Hi everybody. It is a awesome hot sunny day here. I am in Adams County, Ohio at the Serpent Mound, and this is a site that is absolutely amazing. It is one of the most significant historic sites we have in Ohio and one of them in the world. It's absolutely amazing. So if you're not familiar with Serpent Mound, it is an effigy mound built by ancient Native Americans who lived here in Ohio thousands of years ago. And it's still a mystery on who made this thing and the full significance of it, or even why it's in the shape of a serpent. And I definitely recommend you guys coming out to see it. It's an hour and a half from Cincinnati going out east. You can see the hills of Adams County behind me. It's beautiful countryside. I'm going to stand up on this bench here real quick so you guys can see. So right here is the tail of the serpent. This is where I'm starting right here. It is coiled, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around so you guys can see the whole thing of it and what it looks like when we're walking around this way. I'm actually going to go, I'm going to go this way around here. We'll go past the whole group. So what's amazing about this mound is it's not a burial mound like some of the mounds that will be found here in Ohio, where early Americans, indigenous people, buried their ancestors. It's an effigy mound, meaning that it's in the shape of something. And then here what you're going to see is going to see one of the loops that are coming out this way. And what's amazing about this loops is that they line up with different sunrises and sunsets depending on the season. I have to stop here because there's a family taking a picture. Awesome. Let's go. So then this extends out. But as I said, this coils out in the coils of a snake. So imagine when you draw a snake, you're going to draw the loops of the body. These coils line up with different sunrises and sunsets throughout the season. So one of the things that we know about these people who built this mound during this time period is that farming was important to them. And so being farmers, they had to pay close attention to the seasons and what was going on, when it was time to plant, when it was time to reap what they had planted, and everything else. So paying attention to when those seasonal changes were taking place was really important for them. Other than that, anything else is a best guess. So these clearly had a religious purpose in their religious ceremonies, but since they lived so long ago and didn't leave a written language, we don't know. It's guesswork. But what we do know about this mound is that it was built in layers: rock, clay, and in some places even charcoal has been found that way. So what we're doing is we're kind of going up a rise a little bit, because this is built on an embankment on either side. So on the other side of those trees, you wouldn't be able to see it because of all the trees. And on this other side here would be a really steep downhill, almost a cliff in some places. And this is the bottom of that cliff is where, you know, they would have supplied themselves with water at the creek, and then also the stone and rock that they used to build this thing. So here we are, we're getting up to another coil. This is the last coil right here. And we're reaching up to the head of it. So we're way back there. That's where we were before, and coming up this way. And there's a lot of mystery to this part, because there's evidence where this head on older maps, so this is the mouth of the serpent up there, And at the end of this is this large oval shape that, again, we can guess what it was. If it symbolizes a solar eclipse, we know that some cultures believed that, a solar eclipse would happen because, a snake was swallowing the sun. If those people who built this believed that, we're not sure, because again, thousands of years ago, with no written language. But there are some maps that show different markings coming off this large oval piece that look like legs or just little parts sticking out. But when this mound was originally surveyed by people who were really taking an actual records of it, there's a man from Harvard University whose last name was Putnam, who made it his life goal to study this thing and protect it, because at one point or another this thing was being plowed over by farmers who were farming the land, and as they were doing it, they were destroying the mound bit by bit. So they had to protect this thing. So you can see the oval here, which is just amazing. So right now we're at the head of the snake, and facing off this way is at the edge of that cliff. So one side of the cliff, and now we're on the other side of the cliff. Can't really see it so much because of the trees, but the idea of how this was built is fascinating, because it wasn't by accident. And what's amazing is that, I'm filming this right now in the summer, and just a few days ago, actually last week, was the summer solstice, meaning it's the longest day of the year, first day of summer. And what we have found out about the serpent is that on the summer solstice, at sunset, the sunset lines up perfectly with this head, and the winter solstice lines up perfectly with the coiled tail. So that could easily be interpreted as a calendar to help them keep track of the seasons, being farmers, and farming is really important to them. And also, I'm sure, some sort of religious purpose that we don't know, because they lived so long ago. So we're walking back, and you can see some of the coils here, these loops. And I just learned today that there's evidence that there used to be a loop or a coil, and using ground penetrating radar, we can see where that was built and then taken apart. So it seemed like they started building the thing and then didn't like how it was going, and then decided to take it down and then start over. Another thing to think about is, with this being made so long ago, this is made using manual labor and hand tools. There was no machinery. It's not like they loaded up a dump truck full of dirt and then brought it up here. It was all by hand and all in baskets. And here we go. We are now back at the tail. You may have noticed the tower over there. I was planning to go up in that tower, but there's too many people and it's kind of scary, so I don't want to go back up in it again. So if you ever come here, you can explore the rickety old tower yourself. It's pretty amazing. And here we are, right back where we started, with a really curled tail. So winter solstice, the sunset's gonna set in that direction. It's absolutely amazing. All right, well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you ever get a chance to come out here and see it, you definitely should, because it's really awesome. They have a neat museum here showing artifacts that they have. Great place to go around hiking and everything else. And it's just a fun place to visit. So have a great day, and we'll see you later. Bye.